The upscale restaurant shimmered with soft golden lights the night Billionaire CEO Adrian Cole stepped in for a quiet dinner. He was known for his calm nature, razor-sharp intelligence, and a reputation for never losing control, no matter the pressure. But even he felt the strange tension in the air. The tables near the windows were unusually empty, and the security guard who usually accompanied him was stuck in traffic. Adrian didn't mind, he enjoyed anonymity. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that tonight would not be like any other night in this elegant place. Behind the counter, a young waitress named Lily wiped down glasses with practiced movements. She had been working here for only a month, soft-spoken, polite, and never drawing unnecessary attention. But something about her posture tonight seemed different and more alert, as if she sensed something others didn't. Her eyes flickered toward the entrance every few seconds, scanning faces with precise, almost tactical awareness. To most people, she was just another cheerful server, but beneath that gentle exterior rested a skill she never advertised. Adrian ordered his usual blackened salmon and herbal tea and opened his tablet to review a contract worth billions. That's when the door slammed open. 5 muscular men in hoodies walked in, their movements too coordinated to be casual. They didn't wait to be seated. Instead, they spread out, circling the room as if claiming territory. Conversations died instantly. The entire restaurant stiffened under their presence. Adrian recognized the type immediately, not robbers, but professionals sent for a very specific target. The leader of the group, a man with a jagged scar running down his cheek, moved closer to Adrian's table. His eyes were cold, focused, and unmistakably predatory. "Mr. Cole," he said, his voice low and taunting, "we've been waiting for the right moment. You made certain people very unhappy." Adrian remained calm, though a slight pulse quickened in his throat. He knew exactly which business rivals could resort to something so reckless, but he also knew he had no protection in this moment except his own wit. The scarred man snapped his fingers, and instantly, the remaining 4 spread around Adrian, blocking every path of escape. Other diners ducked down, trembling. Chairs scraped the floor, plates rattled, and someone whispered a prayer. But Lily, strangely, did not panic. Instead, she took a slow step backward, her breathing steady, her eyes locked on Adrian and his attackers. She mentally calculated distance, angles, body weight, instincts she had hoped never to use again. Adrian tried to negotiate. "Whatever deal you think I blocked," he said evenly, "violence won't get you what you want. We can discuss this." But the scarred man only smirked. "We didn't come to talk. We came to deliver a message." He grabbed Adrian by the collar and yanked him up, knocking the table aside. Tea splashed across the floor. The room filled with muttered gasps as the CEO struggled to free himself, but the grip was too strong. Lily took another step forward, her hand sliding under her apron where a small metal hairpin was hidden, and not just a fashion accessory, but a modified tool she had learned to use in her past life as part of a covert training program she had abandoned years ago. She never told anyone about it, not even the restaurant manager. She had tried hard to live quietly, far from the shadows she once fought in. But tonight, fate had dragged her right back into danger. The scarred man shoved Adrian against the wall, raising a fist. "Say goodbye to your empire," he growled. But before he could strike, a sharp whizzing sound sliced through the air. His hand jerked back in shock. The hairpin Lily had thrown had buried itself in the wood millimeters from his knuckles, stopping him mid-motion. The entire room froze. Adrian looked up in disbelief. The attackers whipped around to find the source, their eyes landing on the small waitress standing calmly with her feet grounded and fists clenched. "Step away from him," Lily said, her voice no longer soft or timid. It carried an authority that didn't match her apron and notepad. The men laughed at first too until she moved. In a blur, she closed the distance and struck the nearest attacker in the throat with surgical precision. He dropped instantly, groaning and clutching his neck. The others reacted too slowly, stunned by her speed. Adrian stared, stunned, as Lily became someone entirely different before his eyes. The second attacker lunged at her, but she spun sideways, kicked his knee inward, and slammed her elbow into his jaw. He collapsed with a howl. Chairs toppled, Diners scrambled to safety, and the restaurant echoed with chaos. The scarred leader cursed and signaled the remaining two to attack at once. They charged her from opposite sides, trying to overwhelm her with sheer force, but Lily's movements were fluid, trained, calculated. She ducked under one punch, grabbed a serving tray from the counter, and smashed it across the other man's face. The last attacker swung a metal rod he pulled from his jacket, aiming for her ribs. Lily rolled across a table, sending plates flying, and landed behind him. She trapped his wrist, twisted hard, and forced him to drop the weapon. He screamed as she pinned him to the ground with a swift motion. The scarred man watched in disbelief as his elite team was falling apart within minutes to a single waitress he had underestimated. "Who are you?" he demanded, sweat dripping down his temple. "Just someone trying to live a normal life," Lily replied, her stance steady. When he tried to grab Adrian again, she stepped between them. The scarred man attacked with desperation, throwing wild punches, but Lily deflected them effortlessly. With one powerful kick to his chest, she sent him crashing into a table, knocking him unconscious. The entire restaurant erupted into relieved gasps. Adrian stood there, breathless, staring at the woman who had saved him. Police sirens wailed in the distance as someone had called for help. Lily retrieved her hairpin from the wall and quietly slipped it back into her pocket. Her hands trembled now that the adrenaline was fading. "Are you hurt?" she asked Adrian, her voice returning to its gentle tone. "I'm a broken bar alive because of you," he said, his gratitude raw and sincere. When officers arrived, they found 5 men on the floor and a billionaire CEO standing protectively beside a waitress the world had completely misjudged. Adrian insisted on giving a detailed statement, praising Lily for her bravery. The manager rushed out, shocked to discover his most reserved employee was also the most capable fighter he had ever witnessed. But Lily kept her head down, uncomfortable with the tension. She had never wanted to be a hero or just someone quietly rebuilding her life. Later, as the restaurant emptied and calm returned, Adrian approached her with a seriousness that surprised even him. "Lily, whatever your past, I's a broken bar. You saved my life. I owe you more than just thanks." She smiled faintly. "You don't owe me anything. I just did what was right." But he knew this wasn't the end. Something told him their paths had crossed for a reason, and the hidden skill she revealed tonight had changed everything, and not just for him, but for her future as well.